Let's pretend for just one moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, that Alec Baldwin is not completely insane.
Hello there. Alec Baldwin here with another inappropriate Instagram post.
Let's pretend that Alec Baldwin is a rational human being who can deal with somebody he doesn't agree with being elected president of the United States.
It is fantastic. And you won an Emmy, well deserved.
It's not like agony, it is agony.
Yeah.
Let's say for an instant that Alec Baldwin wasn't a homophobic misogynist.
Calling him a Mr. Baldwin can't lend his support for equality on paper while degrading gay people in practice.
Can we just pretend that Alec Baldwin is not a complete nut job for a moment?
If I went to dinner with my good friend, everything that's armor for her. She was my friend.
Well, now that we got that out of the way.
Excuse me.
Women over 140 pounds are invisible to me. I literally can't see them.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That was my rag sheets and
Wife Ilaria.
people who
She's
are
from
all about
España,
hate.
born in a little town.
But setting aside all the
monkeys, roll the footage.
We all can agree the armor girl should probably be put to death, but that's not up to us.
Yeah, that works.
I like
all right.
that.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
Alec Baldwin and other Rust producers want suit over fatal shooting tossed out. I'm sure they want this tossed out of court. This came out yesterday over on Deadline.com. I haven't done a video about this yet. We've talked about it on live streams, and I kind of wanted to focus a little bit more here in this quick video on the topic of Alec Baldwin and the Helena Hutchins shooting. Let's not forget the facts here. Baldwin shot 2 people. There was plenty of employees that walked off the set and quit because of unsafe work conditions. Crew members out using this pistol the day before for target practice on set, which they said it doesn't make any sense. This armorer was inexperienced. To have somebody who obviously knows very little about firearms be in charge of the firearms is absolutely laughable at this stage of the game. And to think that Baldwin, of all people, this weird, insane, with a history of being obtuse, he got in that fight with a gentleman in traffic over a parking spot a couple of years ago, and now he shoots and kills somebody. And oddly enough, Hutchins' husband had some ties to a lawsuit against a politician. It's a mess. This situation doesn't make sense. Why you would point the gun I grew up around firearms, and the first thing I was ever told is you never point a gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. There has to be some kind of protocols and firearms training before there should be, because these actors, let's face it, a lot of them are not the most intelligent people on earth. They're meat puppets. They're pretenders. They pretend to know things that, some of them will go through extensive, firearms training so they know how to handle properly and how to look right handling the gun. Also safety protocols, which apparently was non-existent on the set of Rust. Let's get into this article from Dominic Patton over on Deadline. More than 2 months after the script supervisor on Rust filed a lawsuit against Alec Baldwin and other producers for the actor's fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchinson on the New Mexico set of the indie western, the defendants want a California judge to dismiss the action. Yes, of course, they want a California judge to dismiss the action. Why would a judge throw out a case in which somebody was clearly killed by negligent behavior? There is that better? It was negligent homicide, I believe, would be the correct legal terminology. If I can think back to my college days, my criminal justice degree, I think it was negligent homicide. More than 2 months after the script supervisor on Rust filed a lawsuit against Alec Baldwin and other producers for the actor's fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchinson on the New Mexico set of indie western, the defendants want a California judge to dismiss the action. And why wouldn't a California judge dismiss the action? California's made it legal to shoplift, defecate on sidewalks, rob trains with no consequences or repercussions. Basically, you can act like a complete savage in California and get away with it, but you better be... Never mind. Yeah. I guess as long as you have the right political affiliations, you can do whatever you want in California, right?
What a stupid son of a bitch.
I'm going to venture a guess that if someone like me, that looks like me, went into a store and tried to steal merchandise, I'd probably get arrested. But then someone like me, someone with my values, would never walk into a store and just assume I'm free to take whatever I want because I was raised better than that. And these people that are doing this stuff in California, they were not raised well. They had horror. They're just bad people with no values, morals, or a moral compass. But let's get back into the article before I digress too much from my point. Nothing about the plaintiff's allegations suggest that any of the defendants, including Mr. Baldwin, intended the prop gun to be loaded with live ammunition. But then again, that's negligence on the part of the armorer and Mr. Baldwin for pointing it at a cinematographer. That doesn't make any sense. She's not involved in the movie other than being that she's the cinematographer. She's not an actor. It's stupidity. Again, you don't point a gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. Responded Baldwin, Rust Movie Productions LLC, El Dorado Pictures Inc., Ryan Donald Smith, Langley Allen Cheney, Thomasville Pictures LLC, Anjul Nigam, Matthew Del Piano, and Calvary Media Inc., who were erroneously sued as Calvary Media Inc. As the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office continues its probe into what went terribly wrong on the Rust set on October 21st last year, Baldwin and his fellow producers, Pillsbury, Winthrop, Shaw, Pittman, LLP lawyers are requesting a February 24th hearing before the Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Michael E. Whitaker on the move to toss out Mitchell's case. Mitchell, it might be added, is represented by Gloria Allred, who hasn't been known to back down from a fight. In fact, the complaint placed in the LA Superior Court docket by Allred last fall seemed to be looking for just such a fight. Alec Baldwin should have assumed the gun in question was loaded unless and until it was demonstrated to him or checked by him that it was not loaded. The filing proclaimed in language echoed at a press conference Mitchell and Allred held soon after filing the suit. He had no right to rely upon some alleged statement by the assistant director that it was a cold gun. The wide-ranging damages seeking complaint goes on to say, referring to the assistant director David Halls, you never point a gun at anything you don't intend to shoot, and even if somebody tells you that a gun is not loaded, you are being dangerously irresponsible if you do not examine it for yourself, depending upon what kind of firearm it is. Check and see if there's a round chambered, if a magazine is inserted into the weapon, if it's a single shot, is there one racked if it's a shotgun. It all varies, but one thing is universal. You must be accountable for every second you have that gun in your hand, your actions with it, trigger discipline. It's all just basic firearm safety. Things that I'm teaching my 6-year-old now. You always point a gun at the ground. Your finger is never on that trigger until you're ready to shoot. You don't point the gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. Basic firearms safety that I am, again, teaching my 6-year-old. Alec Baldwin is what, 60-something? And he didn't know that? Or just neglected it and said, I'm Alec Baldwin, I can do whatever I want. Trunk derangement syndrome. Maddening to think that a woman lost her life because of this arrogant piece of human filth that Alec Baldwin is. And then the sheer audacity to have your lawyers request that the lawsuit be thrown out. So what about Hutchins' family? What about her husband? Are they just supposed to just go to hell because you're Alec Baldwin and you're so important and you're above the law? No, I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. You and your other Hollywood garbage that's like you have a reckoning coming. Mr. Baldwin cannot hide behind the assistant director to attempt to excuse the fact that he did not check the gun himself, continues the filing for Mitchell, who was actually in the church location on the Bonanza Creek Ranch when Baldwin's quick draw move during the rehearsal killed Hutchins and injured director Joel Souza. Yes, I did not even mention that the round, I don't know if it went through, but if he fired 2 rounds, but a director got shot as well. You have 1 dead, 1 injured because Alec Baldwin is an idiot. Armorer on the set is inept and did not know how to do her job. The responsibility falls on Baldwin and this armorer as far as I'm concerned. Nobody's supposed to be handling these weapons without her inspecting them before they go back in. Why were live rounds in the same? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's a frustrating thing to see somebody lose their life over stupid negligence. Having since admitted he didn't examine the weapon properly before giving it to the actor, Halls, along with Rust armor Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, has been at the center of the sheriff's investigation, as her lawyers have floated the idea of sabotage on the production that had the safety and labor issues. Gutierrez-Reed launched her own legal action earlier this month against the film's so-called armor mentor, Seth Kenney, and his Albuquerque-based company, PDQ Arm and Prop. Even with some push and pull with the media chatty Baldwin over his cell phone, and the police and the de facto Santa Fe DA haven't arrested or charged anyone over the Rust shooting. Throwing a bit of a Hail Mary against Mitchell's complaint on claims of assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and facing other lawsuits too, the Rust producers are still pursuing the internal investigation they proclaimed on October 22nd, 2021. The review may be close to completion, I hear, but nothing official yet. And I'm not going to read this article. I just want to look back. This is January 14th. And remember, it took Alec Baldwin that long to turn his cell phone in. January 14th, Alec Baldwin finally hands over phone to police in Rust fatal shooting probe. So he had his cell phone all that time without turning it over to the police when they were requesting it. And he kept, I don't know if he just was not complying or filing injunctions. Do you know what would have happened to a normal citizen if they denied a police request like that over a shooting? First of all, somebody like me or you would have been in custody like that. Not Alec Baldwin out making car videos with him talking about Splenda packs and still blaming Donald Trump for things. This is an entirely insane situation. So this whole situation leading up to the death of Helena Hutchins on the set of the indie film Rust, with Alec Baldwin being the man who pulled the trigger, and I like when he said, well, we still don't know who pulled the trigger. It's like, let's get nuts! It was a sad situation, and Alec Baldwin has proved over the years he is mentally unstable. Look at his actions with the media. Now, I know you can kind of chalk that up to being under scrutiny of being a celebrity, but other celebs have, learned how to navigate around without, slamming paparazzi against cars, throwing homophobic slurs at them, leaving very insulting voicemail messages for their daughter. This is peak insanity on the part of Alec Baldwin if he tries to assume no culpability in this situation, in the death of Helena Hutchins. Negligent homicide at least, but I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that up to the courts to decide, which is also a scary proposition considering Alec Baldwin is a celebrity, and is he actually going to face real justice for his crime? Ladies and gentlemen, it is your turn to let me know what you think in the comments section below. Please be sure, slap that like button for us. If today's the day we've earned it, subscribe to the channel, ding the bell for notifications so you know every time we upload a new video or go live on one of our weekly streams on Mondays, 8:35 Eastern, going in Raw, Wednesday night live at the place to be, 9 p.m. Eastern, and this Friday, tune in our Watch Party 1,000 subscriber celebration stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. The tab, the community tab on the channel has the selections for the movie we will be watching. You can still vote on that up until Friday, ladies and gents. So go check it out if you so desire. I'm Etepo, Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember,
It's better to burn out than to fail.